Good day to you all. You know, as a Buddhist minister, one would think that all my family and friends would be Buddhist. Well, no, they're not. They search on their own path to find answers. And there are so many paths to take. But, you know, the other day, I learned a very important lesson. And amazingly, I learned it from my sister. And she called me, and she was in a state of sadness, and she wanted a little sympathy from me. She told me about this story of her being scammed. And she went through the details, and I kept thinking throughout the whole story, Namo Amitabha, Namo Amitabha, Namo Amitabha. My nembutsu for her. And it was my way of sharing in her sorrow and suffering. She told me she called her partner, who was out of town, and he gave her the lecture. Oh my goodness, it was such a long lecture. And after her story, I could only say, I am so sorry. I wish I could do something else, but there's nothing I can do. And I told her a lesson learned. And over the phone, you could hear in her voice a surprised expression of, that's all you're going to say? And I could only say, what do you want me to say? You already got the lecture. You heard everything that had to be said. I said, why add more fuel to the flame? And she stopped and thought, and she goes, that's right. I said, I'm sorry. I said, I wish I could be there to pat you on the shoulder and hold your hand, but I'm not there. And I was going to tell her, how about Namo Amitabha? But then I thought about it, and I thought about it, and it came out with, my sister would not even understand what that means. She would not be able to even want to say those syllables. So I said it for her. And as the time went on, I did. I gave her my sympathy. And my sister is the type that likes the why me, why always me kind of thing. But she never stops to think. Her mind is like a pinball, and it's pinging all over the place. Ding, 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 one idea to another idea, to another idea, to another thought. And it's like, settle your mind. But she won't hear that, because she wouldn't know what it means to settle the mind, to think, to calm oneself. And I think all of us are like that at one time or another in our lives, where we are so bogged down with feelings and thoughts and wanting to get things done that we forget other people. We become selfish individuals. And yet we want sympathy from others. Well, you know, we had to treat each other with kindness thoughtfulness, and patience. But I have to admit one thing. I did learn a lesson from my sister, which is not too often, I should say, not too often at all. But I did learn several lessons. I learned patience. I learned to listen. And I learned to be silent. And I think to listen was the most important, because that's what she wanted someone to do, was to listen. She did expect, don't get me wrong, she did expect a lecture, but she already got a lecture. I couldn't add any more. So I learned to listen from her, to be silent. Of course, I mean, I had my thoughts going in my head, and they were not very pleasant ideas and thoughts, but it was not a time or place for it. It wasn't my ego telling her what to do, but it was my patience to listen, to be silent, and to feel her pain. And sometimes that's what we have to be, that's what we have to give to each other. Patience, a listening ear, and silence. You know, and part of that is from our teachings of the Golden Chain. To be kind and gentle, and to protect all who are weaker than ourselves. Yes, we're supposed to think pure and beautiful thoughts, but sometimes we don't have those, but that's okay. That's okay, because we learn to listen. And when we feel that it's a good time, then we can give suggestions or give them our thoughts in a kind and gentle way, of course. And that comes through to say kind and pure words. Not with hatred, not with anger, but with compassion. All those lessons in one situation. And when we listen to the teachings, particularly the Golden Chain, it's everything that we want to be treated as is in the Golden Chain. We only have to be aware, learn, remember. So our silence is a way of giving support. Listening is a way to share our sympathy, and being patient maybe will help to alleviate some of their suffering and sorrow. Lessons that are there, always there, lessons that we carry with us. Yet, are we willing to let go and truly listen in silence? If you would please, join your palms together for meditation reading. Listen and silent are spelled with the same letters. Think about it. A quote, anonymous. If you would please join me in Gasho. Namu Amida Butsu. Namu Amida Butsu. Namu Amida Butsu. Namu Amida Butsu. Please like, share, and subscribe, for you are the ones to help spread the Buddha Dharma. Thank you so much.